Now, let us also have a quick little note here. Like, this will be an easy one, but I wanted to comment on this. So, they are apparently making Joker 2, according to, bearing in mind, a slip of the tongue of the original movie's creator. So, this is not set in stone, it's not even confirmed. It's just a thing that apparently dumped out of some person's mouth. So, maybe he's just being a derpy face. Possible. But I feel strongly about this because the Joker was very much so a movie product of its age. It was a cultural product. It's a one of a kind thing. It was a response to the shit we see ongoing today. And in many ways, it was a great outlet for a lot of people who saw it and went like, okay, so there's at least someone in Hollywood who understands the garbage that's going on here, right? And it was also very anti-corporate, very anti the establishment, very rebellious in its way. A 2 will ruin all of that because the moment you slap a 2 behind something like that, it's no longer rebellious. It's no longer a statement. It is no longer a cultural reaction or a liberating little blowout of emotion. It is now just yet another soulless corporate money printing piece of shit slapped onto the market because the producers are seeing the potential dollar signs.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of felt the same way about the first Matrix and John Wick 1. Like, I was like, these are really good. And then they made sequels. And while the sequels were enjoyable in a sense, they lost the original's charm. Because they were never meant to be long, like, franchises. Like, I hate when they do that. I don't mind it if it's like Mass Effect, where it was always meant to be a big, giant trilogy. Like, okay, fair. But, like, this wasn't meant to be a trilogy. This was meant to have, like, a franchise spun off it. It was like a one-off story, and the story was told, and it there's nothing more to tell. It should just be done. It should end there. But money, merchandising, and various other things, and corporate shilling, they want more profits. And if they can kick the ever-living shit out of the dead horse, so to speak, they will, to milk it of every penny.
And that is the problem. Like, the worst case scenario, too, is that because Joker got a lot of backlash from that particular crowd of people, but it was loved by another crowd. And the energy of the Joker as well. Like, what is it? Oh god, what's the name of the actor?
Phoenix something. Hawk? No. Phoenix.
Hawk? No, I think it was Phoenix. Jaquan Phoenix? No.
He played in Gladiator as the main emperor bad dude. If I remember right.
Was that him? Yeah, it was him, wasn't it? Holy shit.
He's much younger back then, though.
Holy shit, names, I didn't even notice.
It's the same guy.
Phoenix, yes.
Joaquin,
some kind of French gay-ass name. Phoenix.
I got his last name, but honestly, he's my kind of Frenchman. Like, look at him.
And the thing is, his performance in the Joker movie was honestly exhausting. Like, it was a tiring movie to watch because of how intense his performance was. He felt like he was at an absolute hair's trigger the entire movie. He radiated insanity and danger. That's what I loved about it. Like, that was a performance that made the movie right there. The script itself had some highlights, like you get what you deserve, and the little dance down the steps. That was some brilliant stuff, but he made that movie. And a second movie, even if we say that he could redo that, it wouldn't be the same because the Joker is now established. What was so cool about the first Joker was the transition from this guy who's just almost a walking corpse. Like that scene where he takes off his top and you're just like, you gag because of how ill he looks on top of his clear mental health issues. In a Joker 2, he would be the Joker. He would be liberated. He would be a crazy person. He'd be the crazy happy person. Like, it just would not have the same effect.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Honestly, I felt the same way. Like, I'm not a big fan of superhero stuff. I kind of hate it, honestly. But that's one thing I noticed about like Iron Man 1. The origin stories is where all the character growth is, and that's where the good bits of the story is for me. The same for this Joker origin story movie. Like here it's actually cool because you get to see his character grow, change, and like his failings as a character as he, falls down this dark path. And that's really cool. But my problem is then after that story's told, that's when character progression in these superheroes franchises and stuff, that's where it dies. It's
Yeah, that's
immediately
the problem
boring
too.
afterwards.
Because often when they try this too, it just doesn't work. Like, for example, they with Tony Stark, they try to have his little alcohol abuse arc go out, and he's like all worried about, oh, but there's aliens out there. What if they come and ruin California? Wouldn't that be great?
Would be.
And it doesn't end up in anything really. He still fights. He mopes a bit about it for about 5 seconds per movie, but it never causes anything interesting to happen. Even when he creates Ultron as a supposed answer for this, it's a throwaway line. It's like, oh yeah, I created Ultron because I'm a bit scared of cat. I was like, uh-huh.
And then he
Like,
just
it's
deals
not
with
a
it. There's no
and then
growth.
he just deals with it. It's never an evolution. It's not him sitting in a corner like, holy shit, I unleashed a massive murder robot. No, he suits up and shoots the damn thing.
Shoots up, shoots it, nothing really happens, nothing really changes. It rinse repeat, he's back to being Iron Man. There's no character growth anymore. His character's like growth, his character's like journey ended in the origin story. That's the problem with
Yeah.
every superhero movie. The origin
It's
story is
all
the
in the
end.
first movie,
Yeah.
where he goes from this callous cavalier kind of playboy style character into a hero.
Yeah. That's
That's why they keep rebooting Superman, because Superman is a bloody boring ass character. I'm sorry, but he is boring. He's just Superman. He's always just strong enough to save the day, and that's all he ever is. And the thing is, too, you can't really change that because every time they've tried to make a quote unquote dark Superman, like what they tried to do with Henry Cavill, it just comes across as wrong, too. Because now you're sitting there and you're watching the screen like, I don't want to see Superman break a dude's neck because it's like, oh, we're going to keep killing people. No, Superman finds a way around that. It is a defeat of the character when he doesn't just snaps whatever Kryptonian general dude's neck is. Superhero movies bad. They need to be ashamed of themselves.
that's honestly why I don't like superhero stuff in general. There's no real character, there's no sense of gravity. It's like the good guy normally wins or the bad guy wins, and it's too yin and yang, and it's regurgitated. Like it'd be one thing if a Spider-Man was like a one-time thing, but the problem is Spider-Man story begins and ends, and then they reset every time. Another Spider-Man series, beginning,
Yes.
ends, and they keep doing it again, 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 again. I don't care. I don't want to look at some dude dressed up in fucking tights anymore. Fuck off. I don't want to see Batman with his stupid little bat ears anymore. Like, I'm tired of looking at it. It's
And actually, like that was why Ultimate Spider-Man, the old one, not the current Ultimate Spider-Man, but the old Ultimate Spider-Man from like the early 2000s or something, was actually a really good run because it had clear transitionary stages. It was Peter Parker as the little bitch getting his ass kicked to becoming Spider-Man, going on a little bit of a power trip to having Uncle Ben killed, and it's like, oh shit, I should use my powers responsibly. And then encountering other characters as well and learning more about the morality of the universe, like his little romance with Black Cat, which he never bangs, which is a crying shame. And it's a little bit along the lines of Batman too. Like, Batman has had a lot of evolutions in morality, but the problem is almost all of this ended like 2 or 3 decades ago almost. And now we're in the era of just never ending reboot where Thor is a woman, then Thor is a horse, then Thor is a random ambulance driver, then Thor is Thor again for about 5 minutes until Loki is like, hi, I'm more popular than you. I'm going to have my TV show now. Turns out I was a good guy all along.
actually I was always good.
I was brainwashed. The superhero movie era is at an end. Like it's dead now, but the reboot era is going to be with us for a while longer. Fortunately, I mean, you can only reboot a franchise so often, I guess.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I would be.
I mean, what's happening with the Dune movie? Any news? Like, I
I
love
have
Dune,
no idea.
and I don't want this to be awful, but it's gonna be awful. And I've
I
consigned
watched the
myself to that.
trailer and I hated the trailer. I
This trailer
despise
doesn't
the
even
trailer.
look like Dune. That's the worst part.
And I hate the main character because he's one of those dudes, those actors who just looks like a soppy, wet little. I can't use the C word because it's illegal on YouTube now, but you
See,
get my drift. Like, he looks like the kind of guy who'd be pinned down and beaten in school for just looking offensively weak.
yeah. See, the thing is, like, I think that's a good look for him to start out as before he transitions into his basically prophet role almost. But
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
because I don't know that I was a big I don't know if this is controversial or not because I never asked anybody because every time I talked about Dune, people were like, "What's Dune?"
What's Dune? Yes.
Like
What's that?
my favorite Dune media is besides outside the books and the video games, is probably the Dune TV miniseries, not the Children of Dune, the sequel, the actual original TV miniseries. I like that show a lot. At least as a
See,
kid.
I still liked the bloody movies. I did because they were so. I don't even know, like the whole internal monologue thing. It was all just so
That is a hot take
derpy.
for sure. That is a
It was so derpy. It was really slow, and he felt like it had a certain gravitas to it for just being slow.
God
Really,
damn it. They,
that's how I describe the
I will give
movies.
you this.
Slow.
The Dune movie, the original one, was so it failed so badly that it revolutionized cinema as a whole.
Yeah. See, it did good, Kyle. It did
Their
good.
shields were really dumb in that, where they looked like little square Minecraft block men.
Yes, they did.
That was funny.
And for everyone who's undoubtedly asking the question, what's Dune? It's Proto 40K with dumber shield technology. That's what it is.
Yes, Dune is one of the. Think of Frank Herbert's Dune as basically the Lord of the Rings of like science fiction. Like it's more like it redefined science fiction a lot. A lot of authors from there would take inspiration from his works. Robert Heinlein was another one. See, the thing about science fiction is there's actually a couple of big like people versus fantasy. It's just like it's just Tolkien. He just came along and just like jizzed all over everything. It's like this is Tolkien now.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Dune is really cool. It's basically like giant neat whatever. Yeah, like neo feudalism in space kind of thing. Great houses fighting over worm shit, literally.
And me and giant worms being like, and people like, yeah, we got to deal with them because, you know, spice.
We do like their poop though.
Precisely.